welcome to another edition of the Pro Wrestling Show. I'm your host, as always, Kendrick Weeks. Glad you're here for the Pro Wrestling Show presents the Royal Rumble preview for 2019 version. Glad you're here. Join in that conversation right now. Use the hashtag PSW, stand for Pro Wrestling Show, as we talk about the mega event. The road to WrestleMania begins at the Royal Rumble. What a Royal Rumble is going to turn out to be live in Chase Field in Phoenix, Arizona. First time the Royal Rumble being a baseball stadium. Man, that's big. That's big. That's huge. I was proud they went in the arena. The little Phoenix versus Phoenix Stadium. But it might get bigger one day. All right, we're here to talk about the Royal Rumble. Let's talk about the Royal Rumble, where I think was going to start out. The first Royal Rumble, I think, is going to start between the women. I think the women Royal Rumble, we see the field right here. Charlotte Flair, Nia Jax. Alexa Bliss announced this week on her show, Moment of Bliss, that she will be participating in the Royal Rumble. Selena Vega, Bayley, the list goes on and on. And the winner of the Women's Royal Rumble will earn themselves a championship match at WrestleMania against either the Raw Women's Champion or the SmackDown Women's Champion, yet to be determined at the Royal Rumble. We'll know going in. So, man, it's just the fray, a heap of bevy of beauties entering the Royal Rumble and trying to do what they did last year. That was historic. The Women's Royal Rumble, the first ever Women's Royal Rumble in history, and that was won by Asuka. Asuka will not be in the Royal Rumble this year. She'll be in the championship match. But it's kind of hard because I want to say it's going to be Charlotte, Becky Lynch, because those two women has access to grind with Raw Women's Champion Ronda Rousey. But before we get there, you got to look at Nia Jax, a strong dark horse. Ember Moon, Nia Jax especially won the Women's Evolution Battle Royal. Naomi won the WrestleMania Battle Royal. So it's kind of like the heat is there. Naomi's going to do something, I think, like a Kofi Kingston on the Royal Rumble for females. So don't be surprised what she might do. And Carmella entering number 30 after winning the Mixed Match Challenge. So I'm thinking, to me, it's going to be either, I want to say, Becky Lynch will win the Royal Rumble, because she has a lot of momentum. And she's been coming out as lately, opening up SmackDown this week and this past week. So Becky Lynch will win the Royal Rumble, but who knows? Charlotte could do it too. So it's between either Charlotte or Becky Lynch. One of those two women will headline WrestleMania, and you would think they're going to choose that option, but they might want to choose somebody else. Speaking of somebody else, on the SmackDown side, the SmackDown Tag Team titles online. As you can remember back when Best in the World, when I said Shane McMahon and Miz were pairing up, I said, I hope in God they don't go for no tag team titles because they want to extend it. And by God, they doing it now with the Bar. At the Bar, Shane McMahon and Miz playing hot potato, where 1 week they're on top, next week they're not. Like last week, Shane McMahon and Miz had a birthday party, and they gave cake to the Bar, and the Bar didn't like that. So this week, the Bar sending a message to Shane McMahon and Miz that at Royal Rumble ain't gonna be no games, no shenanigans. So I see Shane McMahon and Miz winning the tag team titles to extend this storyline between them, and it's going to culminate at WrestleMania. We don't know who's going to turn on who, but I got a feeling it's going to be, I won't say Shane, because it's just like a lot of twists and turns and plots and stuff, and a lot of A lot of drama, I'll say that for a fact. Stuff like that. The plot thickens at the Royal Rumble. Speaking of the plot thickens, Daniel Bryan defends his title, his WWE Championship, against AJ Styles. Now, this whole thing got started where AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan had their historic championship match in St. Louis in November, and Daniel Bryan turned heel and didn't look back. And Daniel Bryan calls himself the new Daniel Bryan, and AJ Styles calls himself the phenomenal one. Well, this past week, Mr. McMahon was moderating between the two, having a one-on-one face-off. Well, things didn't go so well, as Daniel Bryan said he was the Planet Champion. Mr. McMahon hadn't seen enough of that, and Daniel Bryan didn't care. AJ Styles. So we'll see how this match goes, escalates, because you got to wonder what's going to give at Royal Rumble between Daniel Bryan and AJ Styles, because there are rumors that, you know, Randy Orton could be adding his title picture as well. So we'll still, keep our eyes on that. But I think Daniel Bryan, if I'll be shocked if AJ Styles win, but I won't say AJ gonna win. I think AJ gonna win because Daniel Bryan has not had that momentum as world champion that he used to have when he had the Yes Movement. So, that's what's gonna happen. Speaking of that, the United States Championship is online between Shinsuke Nakamura and Rusev. Well, this has been all escalated after Rusev won on his birthday, and the week after Lana got hurt by Nakamura inadvertently. Nakamura didn't care, so it kind of culminated between these two just to square it off for the U.S. title, and we'll see. I want to say Rusev win. And Rusev win is big for Rusev Day in the Royal Rumble. All right. And speaking of that, we'll have more on the Royal Rumble later. That was the SmackDown side thing. When we return, we'll have hot topics in the Raw side things. Stay tuned. This is the Pro Wrestling Show. Predicts the outcome for the Royal Rumble. I'm sorry I had forgot that the SmackDown Women's Championship match between Becky Lynch and Asuka. I believe that Asuka will still retain. But we'll have more of the Pro Wrestling Show later. We'll be back. I'm your host, always, Ken Houston. Join in that conversation right here using the hashtag PSW, where we're here on Connect TV America. We're just here, but we're back. So let's get to hot topics. We'll have more Royal Rumble news and stuff later on in the show. Well, hot topics. WWE is not WWE, but the XFL is in talks with ESPN and Fox to air broadcast rights. Well, XFL started, it was on UPN and NBC. NBC said they ain't doing it. I can see them on either ESPN or Fox. I can probably see them on ESPN likely, because ESPN wants to cover anything on sports, whether it's dart, arm wrestling, weightlifting. If they consider it a sport, I don't even think one time I saw billiards on there and chess. I said, man, are you kidding me? Okay. That works. Okay. They'll just take any form of sports programming. So don't be shy to be on ESPN soon. Speaking of that, MLW has gained a sponsor, as MLW will be sponsored by GoDaddy. Now, many of you remember GoDaddy, where Candice Michelle with that GoDaddy commercial. Yeah, Candice Michelle did a GoDaddy commercial in the mid-2005, became his spokesperson, and MLW has found a sponsor. So that's good. MLW is growing. And then MLW also found a new TV home in Israel, and it's just growing. It's just that they're doing things out of the box that many people want to they can come out of the box. Speaking of that, Impact Wrestling has extended its deal with the Mexican channel to keep Impact Wrestling. So wrestling is kind of being a hotbed for right now. For a lot of people want to see wrestling a lot. So hey, more the merrier. So hey, that's good. That's a good look for wrestling. Good. Speaking of that, Rob Kardashian, Gwant from the New England Patriots, he's going to be playing the Super Bowl in 2 weeks in Atlanta. He said it's likely he's going to play and retire at Super Bowl. Well, many people were speculating that he was going to join WWE, but that's not the case. Gwant wants to go into the world of acting and become a Hollywood actor. Now, a lot of people were saying too, according to sources, that Gwant might want to explore other wrestling promotions like AEW. So, could you see Gwant going to AEW where his pals, Zack Ryder and Mojo Rawley are in WWE? I ain't doing that with Mojo Rawley. Well, hey, to each his own. Speaking of that, Zack Ryder, him and his partner, Kurt Hawkins, reportedly reunited during their match with the Revival. And the Revival, that's got a tag team championship match and still was looked out. So it's like with the Revival, they don't know what to do with the Revival. And hey, they said, hey, it ain't our problem with the Revival. So hey, it is what it is. Also, John Cena is reportedly suffering an ankle injury and could likely miss the Royal Rumble, but his him participating is in question. So could John Cena miss out the Royal Rumble and miss out on WrestleMania? There's a possibility right there. So we'll keep an eye on that. Also, WWE is also hinting that Batista might come back soon. So Batista come back during the time they said he's slated to wrestle Triple H, but Triple H ready for Batista? We don't know. We'll have to see it, allegedly. Speaking of that, many people are reported that Carlito is making a comeback and making an appearance at the Royal Rumble. Carlito make an appearance at the Royal Rumble. Carlito sent this tweet right here saying that he is no way bounds going to be at Sunday's Royal Rumble. So Carlito doesn't want to be in the Royal Rumble. He shot down rumors that he's not going to be in it. Also, Maria Kanellis shuts down reports that release reports that her husband Mike was going to leave. Maria shut them down, saying that she's not going nowhere, Mike's not going nowhere. But there are sources out there saying that Mike wants to go back to Ring of Honor, which I've been saying that for a long time. WWE, I'd rather tell him that WWE will get you when they want you. When they see something hot in you, then you go. I've been advocating for him to go back to Ring of Honor because he had more recognition and more notoriety on Ring of Honor than ever. Because I remember him being on Ring of Honor and being that arrogant, classless heel with Maria, being at ringside and giving him that edge. I think with Ring of Honor, he was just a pure grappling wrestler, but he never went for no like the world title. He went for the 6-man title before he went off and left and went to Impact, which they did pretty fair with him. But hey, either go to Impact or go to Ring of Honor. It's one of the two. I can see you doing, but hey, it is what it is. Also, many people are reporting that AEW may score a deal with TBS. Now, maybe you remember TBS was the home of World Championship Wrestling with Saturday Night and with WCW Thunder. And TBS could go back to that way and it'll be amazing. 20 years, 18 years after the demise of WCW, and it was on the network, and now WCW back on wrestling back on TBS. It just boggles my mind. You would think, like, for real? You wouldn't thought TBS people, Vince Russo, Eric Bischoff, Tony Schiavone, and the rest of them said TBS didn't care about wrestling. They looked at, frowned their noses at wrestling, and now the TBS executives like, you know what? Wrestling might be cool again. Let's bring it up on our network. We just ain't gonna bring it on TNT where Nitro used to be on. We're gonna bring it on TBS where it all begins again. What? Speaking of AEW, some of his superstars, Cody, Young Bucks, the executive vice presidents, and AEW crew made a surprise appearance at a bar, at Bar Wrestling, and they just wanted to pay it forward and came out and just, show their salute to independent role promoters, and I guess they're trying to recruit talent. I'm assuming. So hey, good for AEW. That's what they do. They're trying to recruit talent. That's the only way you can do it. Speaking of that, they say that Andrade won, Rush, who was supposed to work for MLW, and now he's working for Ring of Honor, signed a 1-year deal, and Dragon Lee about going to WWE. He told him that it ain't what it claimed to be. So, hey. But if you see Roosh, he is really a good wrestler. I seen him on Ring of Honor, I seen him on MLW. I like, they need to be having a bidding war against this dude and sign him exclusive. Maybe Impact need to get involved and sign him. But, Roosh signed for that 1-year deal in Ring of Honor. So, big up the Ring of Honor. And Dragon Lee, well, he lay his hat with his home. So, we'll see where that goes. Speaking of that, the Velveteen Dream, there have been rumors that, according to reports, that he might appear on the main roster to go against John Cena at WrestleMania. Don't be surprised if it happens. But I don't see that. I think, they meant that Lars Sullivan was going to be the guy, but Lars Sullivan is suffering mental issues, reportedly. But, hey, EC3 can kind of walk in that step because it was rumors that EC3 wanted a match against John Cena. Don't be surprised on that. EC3 versus Cena at WrestleMania. If they do right by him, but if they don't do right, you know what I'm saying? Hey, here it is. All right, that is the hot topic. Let's get to resume back to the Royal Rumble on the Raw side of things. All right, on the Monday Night Raw side of things, man, the Universal Championship is on the line as Brock Lesnar made an appearance on Raw to, spew out what him and his advocate Paul Heyman said they were going to do and send about spoiler against Finn Balor. Well, this man came out there and compared Brock and Finn as David and Goliath, which that's his own right, but he kind of booked the match. I'm assuming Triple H booked the match because he likes Finn Balor. Well, Braun Strowman came out there, took issue to the exception to the match, and said that he ought to be in the Universal Championship match. Well, it kind of gave a preview, and it was like a quick preview as Finn versus Brock, where Finn versus Braun, where Brock was watching at ringside, and Finn put up a good, decent fight. It was like a David versus Goliath match. Finn didn't win, but it was the end of no contest after Finn kept attacking Brock Lesnar, doing those moves and stuff, and it's setting him up for the Royal Rumble as Finn Balor sets to reclaim his title against Brock Lesnar. The match everybody's been wanting, but never thought would ever happen to this point now. Because Brock has been going against matches against AJ and Daniel Bryan, and Brock saying that they bring the best out of him, and now Finn Balor gets a turn against the monster, Brock Lesnar, the Beast. So expect Brock Lesnar to win. If Finn Balor wins, I'd be shocked. I'd be like, you know what? I will come on here and You know what? Eat soap. Eat soap. This how serious I am. Eat soap. So I hope Brock pulls this off because I'm not knocking Finn. Finn's an amazing competitor. You know, Finn is an extraordinary man, doing extraordinary things. That's his trademark, his gimmick. It's just they just putting Finn into that place right now, setting up for the men's Royal Rumble and stuff, which I will get to in a minute and stuff. Speaking of the Royal Rumbles, Ronda Rousey defends her Raw Women's Championship against Sasha Banks. Now, this whole thing got started where Ronda appeared on Alexa Bliss talk show and told Alexa Bliss that she would love to go against Sasha Banks and prove herself. And Sasha Banks took deception, but you know, Sasha had to go against Nia Jax for that claim, that title, for the contendership. Nia lost. Now Sasha's in, and Sasha Banks goes against Ronda Rousey. Expect this match to be, you know, fair and decent, but at the end, Ronda Rousey will win and retain her title and go on. And I think, you know, probably next month, Sasha will become a champion, but she'll become a champion with Bayley and win the first ever women's tag team titles in the Elimination Chamber. I can see that. And finally, the men's Royal Rumble match, where 30 men compete for the opportunity of a lifetime for headlining WrestleMania, same as the women. But this time, it's for the WWE or the Universal Championship. Now, the heavy favorites to me is Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins. My pick is Seth Rollins. I think Seth Rollins has it in his heart, his guts, his soul, his whole being to win the match and headline and go to main event WrestleMania in New York and take on Brock. I'm assuming Brock Lesnar. But Seth gonna have some steady competition where you got Lashley, the new Intercontinental Champion, Apollo Crews, former champions, Jinder Mahal. You got Baron Corbin. You got Elias. They haven't said Braun Strowman entering the Royal Rumble or not, but I believe he is. On the SmackDown side, you got Jeff Hardy, Rey Mysterio, Andrade, Samoa Joe, Randy Orton. Randy Orton said this week on SmackDown he's looking for his three-peat. He wants to be tied with Stone Cold Steve Austin. Randy Orton is one of the 7 men that compete to win the Royal Rumble twice, along with Triple H, John Cena, and I guess Hulk Hogan, Shawn Michaels. It's a whole leap. I just named a few. Batista, you know, that heap of people who won the Royal Rumble twice, and Randy Orton want to be the first man to do so, along with Stone Cold Steve Austin, who was the first Royal Rumble winner to win it 3 times. And I think his record going to be broken. It's going to be a 4-time Royal Rumble winner. I think Randy Orton might do that one day. But for right now, the list is furious. Who else? Mustafa Ali. It's a whole bunch of people. So expect this Royal Rumble to be, you know, unique. But my pick, and I'm going with my strong gut reaction. My strong pick is Seth Rollins to win it and go to face the Universal Champion, whoever that might be. It could be Brock Lesnar or it could be somebody else. I'm assuming it's Brock Lesnar. So we will see this Sunday as we all will be watching to see the Royal Rumble. All right, everyone. Thank you all for watching the Pro Wrestling Show, for this special edition of Pro Wrestling Show. I've been Kenny Dix, and I hope to see you after the Royal Rumble after show. Thank you all. We'll see you next time here on Pro Wrestling Show.